The bearings are south, 0 degrees west, and a distance of 201 feet, 5 inches. The latitude for the second property line is the cosine of 0 degrees times 201 and 42/100ths feet. The decimal equivalent of 201 feet, 5 inches, rounded to the nearest hundredths place. We find that the latitude is 201 and 42/100ths feet, again if we remained consistent to rounding to the nearest hundredths place. The departure is the sine of 0 degrees times 201 and 42/100ths feet, which is equal to a departure of 0 feet. This actually makes sense, since the property line did not move any distance in the east or west direction. At the end of the second line, the latitude is 201 and 42/100ths feet. The previous northing was 927 and 18/100ths feet, and we were told that the bearing was south. This means that we subtract the 201 and 42/100ths feet from the previous northing. Therefore, the northing at the end of the second described property line is 725 and 76/100ths feet. The calculated departure of the second line is 0 feet. Following the same steps we have already established, the previous easting was 761 and 80/100ths feet. The bearing is west, so we subtract 0 feet from our previous easting, giving us an easting of 761 and 80/100ths feet at the end of the second property line. The third property line is described by north, 83 degrees east, for a distance of 368 feet. I invite you to pause the lesson at this point and try the calculations for only the latitude and departure on your own. When you are ready, press play, and I will quickly review the answers. Well, hi! I see that you've rejoined me. Using the formula for latitude, the latitude for the third property line is 44 and 85/100ths feet. Again, remember that I am rounding to the nearest hundredths place for all distance calculations. The departure is 365 and 26/100ths feet. Now that you have checked your answers for latitude and departure with mine, I invite you to once again pause the lesson and calculate the resulting northings and eastings for the end of property line 3. Well, welcome back. The calculated latitude was 44 and 85/100ths feet. The previous northing was 725 and 76/100ths feet. The bearing specified is north, which tells us to add. The northing for the end of the third property line is 770 and 61/100ths feet. The departure was equal to 365 and 26/100ths feet. The previous easting was 761 and 80/100ths feet, and the direction was east. The resulting easting for the end of property line 3 is 1,127 and 6/100ths feet. Well, how did you do? The fourth property line should have a northing and easting the same as the point we began with to establish a closed property. But let's just do the mathematics to check this out. Before I invite you to calculate the latitude and departure values, notice the bearing angle. Until now, we've only used degrees. In this situation, however, we will have to convert the minutes and seconds into decimal form. With the degrees in decimal form, we can now complete the last calculations for the final property line. Now I invite you to pause the lesson to calculate the latitude, the departure, and the northing and easting. I am more than confident that you can do that on your own. Please rejoin me to check your answers with mine. The latitude is 229 and 39/100 feet. And the departure is 127 and 6/100 feet. As predicted, the northing and the easting for the end of property line 4 is the same as the point we began. The northing is 1,000 feet, the easting is 1,000. After calculating the northings and eastings, you can apply them to your property line along with the mets and bounds description. All the mathematics in this lesson, calculating the latitude, calculating the departure, and the northings and eastings, can be done by using an Excel spreadsheet. If you would like, pause the lesson and download the template which was created just for you. I will leave the decision as to whether to share this template with your students up to you. If you would prefer, you might want to challenge your students to tackle this project instead of handing them a pre-made document that does all the work for them. This brings us